Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome back to the greatest boxer tournament in Title Bout II. Last time in the tournament, Rocky Balboa took on Ken Norton in what turned into a 15-round showdown that Balboa ultimately won via majority decision, I should say. But it also caused Balboa to break his hand. That will come back to play later on in the tournament, but that's not what we're worried about right now. Today we've got another quarterfinal bout. Let me see if I've got the brackets. Here we are. Take a quick look at our brackets. So as I mentioned, Rocky Balboa has advanced to the semifinals, but today our attention is going to turn to this bout of the quarterfinals. With that, let's go meet today's fighters. Being represented by John Cena today, Rocky Marciano needed 14 rounds to get past Tyson Fury in quite an epic showdown. Let's take a look at his card. He's a 9 and a slugger. Takes control on a 9 versus a boxer or an 11 against a slugger. Aggressiveness and killer instinct of 10. 140 endurance. Foul rating of a C. Defense rating 4. KD 1 and 2 of 1 and 1. Knockout rating 0. Cut 5 and counterpunch range 2. So he's probably not going to be doing a lot of counterpunching. But we need to get him a corner man. Give this a shuffle. And a cut. And let's see who Marciano is looking at for a corner man first. He is looking at Al Gavin, who does well on, who's good on cuts. He'll take on anybody, and he's available on a rating of a 1 to 40 from a random number check. So let's see what we've got. 67, so he's not available. Next one we'll try for him, or for Marciano, is Nazim Richardson, who takes on anybody, and he's available on a 1 to 70. A 50, so Nazim Richardson will be in Marciano's corner today. With that, we'll move them over to the ring, and we'll go meet his opponent. Represented by Roman Reigns, Ivan Drago is also the owner of our tournament's lone knockout so far, as he needed just 3 rounds to get past Clubber Lang via knockout. So let's take a look at his card. He's a 12 and a slugger, takes control on a 12 against either. Aggressiveness 10, killer instinct 9, endurance 100, foul rating C, defensive 2, knockdown 1 and 2 of 0 and 2, knockout rating of 2, cut of 3, counterpunch of 3, and their actions are both there. So we need to get him a corner man as well. The first one he's going to try for is Eddie Aliano. Takes on anybody, excellent against cuts and swelling, and is available on a 1 to 35. So let's see what we have here. 43, so he's not available for Drago. Next try for a corner man for Drago. Peter Manfredo, who's available on a 1 to 90, so I'm fairly certain we'll be picking him up here anyway. That's a foul, so actually, but via a word, I've ruled that that won't pull him. So next try for Drago. David Love, available on a 1 to 80. So the check there. His injury, so we still don't have a cornerman for Drago yet. Next, we'll try for Kenny Lane, who's available on a 1 to 80. That's a 12, so he's available for Drago, which means that's Drago's corner man today. So we'll move them over to the ring and finish setting up the fight. Last thing we need for this bout is a referee. So we've got the referee deck right here. We'll give this a quick shuffle. And a cut. And here's our first try for a referee. We will find, trying to enlist Stanley Christodoulou, available on a 1 to 50, boxer rate of 8. All right, let's see if he's available. He is available, so he'll be our referee for the bout today. Stanley Christodoulou. I probably just butchered the pronunciation of that. Normal, and normal checks on 4th point deduction. Okay. Just making sure we had that all set to go. I think you're going to go here. The rest of these can go back to the box. There we are. I knew I had a baggie set aside for these. I'll shuffle these all back into the second deck. And then the crowd in Lost Carcosa, once I finish shuffling this in, is just about done filing in while we get all the details worked out. All right, there's a cut. The crowd has finished filing in. Everybody's seated. So let's sound the bell for round 1. By virtue of the higher rating after tiebreakers, Drago will be our aggressor to start the bout. We've got power on power here, so there's the bell. Let's start round 1. Drago needs a 12 to take control, which he doesn't find. Marciano is looking for an 11. He finds it and takes control, and he will get our first action. 34 will miss a punch, no counterpunch. Back to Marciano, who loses control. Drago takes it. 19 lands a punch, and Drago will get on the board first. 7 will be good for a 2-point jab, so that'll bring Drago up to 2 points. Back to Drago, who stays in control. 18 is going to land another punch, and he will pick up. 13 is another 2-point jab. So Drago starting to chip away with the jabs. Back to Drago. Stays in control. I was wondering what that... I was kind of pausing there for a second, but he stays in control. 58 is going to be a clinch. Back to Drago, who loses control. Marciano takes it. 6 is going to land a power shot. Drago is KD 1 of 0 against a 10. So on this KD, on this chart, 10-0 is 4 points to Marciano. And just like that, he ties the first round up at 4 points apiece. Marciano stays in control. Lands another power shot. This time we're looking at a 19. Whoa. That's 5 points to Marciano and full killer instinct. So he might be starting to take control here with a golden opportunity for some killer instinct. So 10 cards. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let me just double count that. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, good. First up is landing a punch, and he will land 1 point partially blocked, which will bring Marciano up to 10 points. Next up is landing another power shot. And a 20. That's another 5 points. Actually, we're going to call that... we're going to get a KD number. So he's going to score 6 points either way, which will bring him up to 16 on the round. So we need a KD number from this card, which is a 9. That'll add Drago's KD 2 for the rest of the round. So he's at 2 now. Next up, 26 is going to land a punch. Yes, and he'll land. 15 will be good for a 3-point hook, which will bring Marciano already up to 19 points. Next up, he lands another power shot. Jeez. So now we've got to face a 2 against a 16. There's another 5 points to Marciano. Good grief, this could be over quick. Which brings Marciano up to 24 points on the round. And last card of Killer Instinct is going to be a punch, which Marciano will land. A 3 is good for a 3-point jab. So we are very much in danger. So Drago needs to get this carnage stopped, but Marciano is back on the control check, which he will keep. 62 is a clinch. Marciano stays in control. 41 misses a punch, no counterpunch. Back to Marciano, who loses control, much to Drago's relief. Drago can't take control, though. Marciano can't take it back. Drago, no control. Marciano, no control. Drago takes control. 37 misses a punch, no counterpunch. Back to Drago. Stays in control. 14 is just going to miss a power shot, but he will land a badly needed punch. 30 will be good for a 2-point hook. So that'll bring bring Drago up to 6 points. Back to Drago. No control. Marciano. No control. Drago takes control back. 40 is a missed punch, no counterpunch. Back to Drago, who stays in control. Special, what do we have here? Just a pause in the action. Last card to Drago. No control. That's the end of round 1. So Marciano dominated that round. 27 for him, 6 for Drago. 134. I'm just doing a little paperwork off camera, and then that is 73. Let's see, a 21-point margin means high score wins 10-8. So Marciano takes round 1, 10-8. That was a very one-sided round. Drago needs to have a little bit less of that in round 2, but I'll get the decks reshuffled, and then Marciano will be our aggressor to start round 2. Before we start round 2, we need to make a conditions check for Drago, since he took quite the pounding, which means I'm going to go to the second deck, the deck up here, and I'm going to be on this conditions table down here. So for a KD rating of 0, he's going to have no effect on 1 to 75. On a 76 to 78, he'll lose 1 to his control factor, -1 control factor, and reduced defense by 2 on a 79, and lower control factor by 1, reduced defense by 2 for the rest of the bout on an 80. That will be a random number, so we'll find 52, so no effect. With that out of the way, there's the bell, and here's round 2. Marciano's our aggressor this time. He will start off without control. Drago, no control. Marciano takes control. Lands a power shot right off the bat. Drago's a 0 against a 12, which is 5 points to Marciano. Marciano definitely got Drago's attention, and Marciano is picking up right where he left off in round 1. Back to Marciano we go, who stays in control. 33 is going to miss a punch, no counterpunch. Back to Marciano, no control. Drago, no control. Marciano No control, Drago. No control, Marciano. Takes control. 21 is going to land a punch, and he will land. A 12 is good for a 3-point hook, so Marciano up to 8 points already. And the round's barely begun. Back to Marciano, who stays in control. Foul, he's a C against a 35. I'm almost certain that will get waved off. That will get waved off. Back to Marciano. No control. Drago takes control. He needs this. 43 is a missed punch. No counter punch. Back to Drago, who stays in control. Injury. Oh boy. Fighter walks into a hard counter for 2 points, for a 2-point punch, which breaks his nose. Reduce endurance by 5 at the beginning of each subsequent round. That is bad for Drago. I'll make a note of that. So Marciano is going to be picking up 2 points. I'm just making a note off camera. Okay, so that goes back here. Marciano picks up another 2 points, which will bring him up to 10, which is also bad if we're waiting for a round score TKO. Drago's up next, is back to the control check, which he keeps control. A foul this time. Now Drago's a C against a 63. He's going to get warned for hitting below the belt. So I'm just going to make a note of that. All right, so that's Drago's first warning. The next, so he's allowed 2 more warnings from our referee, and then the 4th one he'll get checked for disqualification. Drago, no control. Marciano, no control just outside of his range. Drago, no control. Marciano takes control. 10 is another power shot. Drago's a 0 against a 16. 16-0 is another 5 points to Marciano. So Marciano's up to 15 points on the round. Back to Marciano, who keeps control. 75 is ring movement, so we are moving to the right neutral corner. Marciano's now a +1 on his control checks while I get everything set, so he needs a 12 here, or less. That'll do naturally. Marciano's still in control. 49 is a missed punch. Drago can try to counterpunch, but a 70 won't do it. Back to Marciano, who stays in control. 48 misses a punch. Drago can once again try to counterpunch, but an 80 won't do it either. Back to Marciano, who loses control. Drago takes control. 12 is going to land a power shot of his own. Marciano is a 1 against a 7. 4 points to Drago. Boy, did he need that. Four points to Drago. He stays in control. He gets the next control check. He'll stay in control, though. 50 is a missed punch. Marciano can try to counterpunch, which a 36 will not do. Drago stays in control. 66 is a clinch. Back to Drago, who stays in control. 78 is ring movement. We would be moving back to ring center, which we'll be moving there anyway, but more importantly, that's the end of round 2. 15 points for Marciano to 4 for Drago. Let's see, that is 42. I was having trouble with math for a second there. 10. So 130 for Marciano. 15 is 58, minus 5 is 53. The way I'm going to actually do that, technically the endurance reduction for Drago happens at the start of the round, but while I'm doing my paperwork, I'm just going to do it right there. So that would be 58. That would actually be 58 officially, but it's 53 I'm going to be subtracting from at the start for the round. So on an 11-point margin, high score wins 10-9. So Marciano picks up another round. Now, if we remember Drago's bout against, who was he against? Clubber Lang. Clubber Lang in Relay last month. This was actually where Drago picked up the knockout in the bout, but I don't think Marciano is going to fall as easily as Lang did. But I'll get the decks reshuffled. Then we'll start round 3, where Marciano will be our aggressor. We are still watching for a round total TKO from Marciano's side. I'm just putting my watch back on. Now that we're all set for the bout, or for the round, there's the bell, and Marciano is our aggressor to start round 3. So Marciano will start us off with control. This is a bad sign for Drago. And it only gets worse because Marciano is going to land a power shot. Drago's a 0 against a 10, which should be good for 4 points. Alright, so that'll get Marciano on the board right away with 4 points. And considering he needs 18 more to score a TKO, that's not a good sign for Drago. But back to Marciano, who stays in control. Picking up another power shot. The only thing worse for Drago right now would be if Marciano jumps into Killer Instinct. But Drago's a 0 against a 2, which won't be Killer Instinct, but it will be another 4 points. Still, Drago needs to get his defense together, like, now. Unfortunately for him, Marciano still has another control check, which he loses, thankfully, for Drago. So first up for Drago. He will take control. 73 is ring movement, so we are moving nowhere. We're staying at ring center. Back to Drago, who stays in control. 19 is going to land a punch, and Drago will get on the board. 21 with a 3-point hook. So Drago now is up to 3 points. Back to Drago, who stays in control. 10 is going to be a power shot of his own. Marciano is a 1 against a 17. 17-1. That's 5 points to Drago, which instantly ties the round, but more importantly, than that, 17 on a 1, that gives Drago full Killer Instinct. He gets 9 cards on Killer Instinct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Drago needed this badly. First up for Drago. 37 is a missed punch, no counter punch. Next up, 18 is going to land a punch, and he will land 40 cut. 40 is good for a 3-point cross, which will bring Drago up to 11. And then we need a cut check. So Marciano's a 5 plus 40 is a 45, which on the cut table, I'm going to bring my notes over here. Marciano is going to get a minor cut under the right eye. Which, how will that impact him? So +1 to cut rating, which means now he's a 6. And 1 cut point. Alright, back to Drago continuing his killer instinct. Sorry for the delay there. 55 is going to be a clinch. Then 14 is Drago is going to land another punch and he will pick up. 68 will be a 3-point uppercut, which will bring Drago up to 14 points. Next up for Drago, 41 is going to be a missed punch, no counter punch, and 58 will be a clinch. So Drago did quite a bit with that killer instinct, and we're back to him for the control check. He'll stay in control. 51 will be another clinch. Back to Drago, who stays in control. 61 is another clinch. Back to Drago, who stays in control again. 12 is going to land another power shot. So a 1 for Marciano against a 4. Should be another 4 points. There's another 4 points to Drago, which now Drago is up to 18 points. If these scores were reversed on the round, the bout would be over on a TKO. Back to Drago, who loses control. Marciano takes it. Come on, you do not want to focus. Landing a power shot of his own, though. Drago's a 0 against a 17. That'll be 5 points to Marciano, and he gets the next control check. So that'll bring Marciano up to 13 points, and we go straight to the action check for Marciano. So next up, he picks up another power shot. This is bad for Drago. He's a 0 against a 3. 4 points, which is up to 17 for Marciano. So for a 3-round TKO, in order to stop that, Drago cannot let another punch land, but we have 2 problems. 1, we have a lot of round left, and 2, Marciano gets the next control check. So Marciano will stay in control. 29 is going to be a missed punch, no counter punch. Actually, no, he's going to land the punch, and then this will be 1 point partially blocked. That's up to 18 points, but the bigger problem here is that is exactsies for a 3-round TKO based on punishment. So Marciano scored 18 points on the round. Actually, wait a minute. Yes, he scored 60 points over 3 rounds, which is enough for a 3-round TKO, and he will advance in the tournament over Ivan Drago in a 3-round showdown. So that will do it for this bout in the Greatest Boxer Tournament for Title Bout II. Later this afternoon, later this evening probably, we're going to have the end of September recap where we're going to talk about everything that we played on the channel. Then tomorrow we're going to lead off October by continuing the fall campaign in Arkham Horror the card game with the 5th scenario, Return to a Phantom of Truth. Wednesday we'll be debuting a brand new game on the channel as we play Mag 23 Guadalcanal from Historic Wings. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.